February habits I'm keeping and dropping. Which are the habits I'm going to be continuing to do for the rest of the year and which ones I'm leaving behind. Hey guys, it's Yui. If you're new here, hello, my name is Yui and I love to talk all things beauty inside and out. And today we are talking about some habits that I want to reflect on because some of them are really good and some of them not so much. So just a quick background, for me, February was the month when I started really consistently trying to upload onto YouTube, and that took organization and creating new habits to actually make it stick. It's been one of the most fun months for me creatively that I've had in a long time, and I'm excited to share some of these habits with you that I'm keeping and dropping. I hope it gives you some insight and gives you an idea of maybe the things you should be focusing on as well. Maybe you're doing the same things that I'm doing and maybe you need to make changes too. So let's talk about it. So the first habit I'm keeping is having a scheduled routine. I talked about this in another video as well. I'll leave that somewhere on the screen. But basically what this means is actually writing down a schedule and your routine and not just thinking about it. So whether you have a notebook calendar or maybe you're like me and you use Google Calendar, whatever it may be, you have to schedule out your day. Don't expect to get things done when you haven't actually written it down. Take it from me, I've tried that and it hasn't worked for years. And this is the first time I feel like I'm actually getting things done. And a lot of it is because visually when I look at my day, I can see that I have video editing scheduled in or video shooting scheduled in, and it's like a mental but very obvious visual reminder that I have something to do in that time block. It is not time for me to binge watch Love is Blind. So I think the last time I had such a scheduled routine was when I used to do music full-time with my brother. We worked on songs every single day. We were uploading, I believe, 3 times a week at that point. And we were also doing live streams and we were recording and writing and making music videos and then doing shows. It was such an awesome time. I haven't talked about this a lot, but I came to Japan to be a singer. I got into a music school and that was the reason I moved to Tokyo. And because that was my core passion and that's where I put all my time and energy, that was one of the most fun times of my life. And I haven't forgotten about music. I still want to do it. I love to sing and I'd like to do that in the future. But we're taking a little bit of a break right now. In the meantime, I feel like I didn't fill that space up with anything creative. I just kind of went into work and daily chores. But because I love the creative aspect of songwriting and performing and I didn't get to do that anymore, I wanted to fill that time up with something creative like YouTube. And I had thought about it for a long time, and the reason I think it didn't happen is because I never actually scheduled it in like I used to do with music. I think one of the reasons it was hard for me to schedule something was because I knew once I put it into my schedule and I actually looked at a 3-hour block of, let's say, video editing, it would make me realize how much time I needed to actually get these things done. So for me to upload one YouTube video, I probably need a total of about 5 to 8 hours. Am I being too generous? I don't really know. But when I think of it that way and I can't take an 8-hour chunk out of my day every day, I have to break it up and schedule it into my week. But I also have work, I have house chores, I have a dog I have to walk, I have to go grocery shopping, I also do want to have a social life. So when you add all those things in, you realize how much time you don't really have, and that can be really intimidating. It's like you almost don't want to see it. But I do think visually seeing it makes it that much more real and gives you a clearer idea of how much commitment, especially in time, you have to give creative projects if you want to move them forward. Of course, it doesn't have to be like that. It could be, scheduling more lunches with your friends if you feel like you're not going out enough. It could be, scheduling time to do chores. It's not all about just the creative process. It can literally go for anything. But I do think when you block out a time for something, you see how long that's gonna take and how quickly your days, your weeks, and your months fill up. Although looking at a very busy schedule can be a bit hard, I do think that seeing how busy you are and how much time you need for the core things you want to work on in life, it makes you appreciate the little time that you do have for whatever you want to do. And it makes, at least for me, it makes me make It makes me make the most of my time. I don't know if I said that right. I find myself making the most of the time that I have when I have free time to spare. Now, the next habit I want to talk about is overthinking and perfectionism. And this is one I am dropping. I am such an overthinker and a perfectionist. Leave a comment if you are as well. And that can be a really good thing because, I'm striving for the best I can possibly be. But on the other hand, it's like nothing is ever really good enough and it stresses me out and everything takes so much time. So because February was the month that I started uploading more consistently, I really had to fight myself on this because I was overthinking if people would understand what I was trying to get across, and I was obsessively trying to center everything and make everything look seamless, and it was taking a really long time. So instead, going forward, what I want to do is to make the best quality anything in the time that I have. Now, it's not always quantity over quality, of course, but if I just focused on quality or thought too much about it, overthinking, then nothing would ever be good enough. And also, working on one thing obsessively doesn't make you better. It's improving every time you try it. So in terms of YouTube, I'm going by the mantra, improve one thing in every new video you upload. And this is a quote by Mr. Beast, so he can't be that far off. And this also goes for my daily life. It's not just for work. I'm working really hard to practice the Let Them theory by Mel Robbins, so not worrying about what other people are saying about me or feeling about me, because, we all have those moments where you're like, I feel like I'm being judged, but we let them. Overall, trying not to overthink anything that I have no control over, like how people feel about me, especially if they're not talking to me about it. So overthinking and perfectionism will be left behind in February, and I hope that leads to a more stress-free and overall just a happy life. Now, the next habit is something that I'm keeping, and that is setting boundaries. So this is something I started really doing in February, and that's mainly because, like I talked about earlier, because I had started scheduling my actual work days for my creative projects, and I realized I didn't have a lot of time, I had to create boundaries within myself, in my relationships, to make sure I didn't burn out. And to make sure that the relationships I had with people had healthy boundaries so I wasn't stressing out over them. So from a work aspect, setting boundaries so I don't overdo it. I'm still kind of bad at this, but setting an end time to my editing time because I could edit into the night, but trying not to do that and getting a good night's rest. Another healthy boundary for myself is, as much as I schedule time for my work, I want to make sure I schedule time to hang out with my friends, my family, take my dog on a walk, just anything that gets me outside, because if I don't do that, there could actually be weeks where I don't see anyone but my husband, my dog, and maybe some dog moms at the park for like weeks. And sometimes I don't mind, but it is healthy to have good relationships, so I do want to schedule it in so that doesn't get away from me. And in terms of life in general, I think setting boundaries with your loved ones and your friends is very, very important. For example, I have friends that message me, fun things like on Instagram or online all the time, and it's super fun catching up with them in that way, or they check in on me. But with my new schedule and with me focusing on other things, I can't always get back to people immediately. Or sometimes it's just going to be hard to make time to physically go out and see somebody just to catch up. Even if I want to, I have to check my priorities and see where everything fits in. And I know that my closest friends see me and they know what I'm working on. They support me. So they're not going to be mad that the word boundary sounds a little bit harsh, but they're not going to be upset with me for not having the time to see them as often as maybe I used to. And those are the kind of friends that I've kept in my life for a long time. So setting up healthy boundaries both within yourself and with your outside relationships, very, very important. And the last habit that I am dropping and leaving behind is comparison. Now, it wouldn't be far-fetched to say I have compared myself to others all of my life, and I feel like we've all done that. But more than ever, seriously, making YouTube videos has opened my eyes to so many things. But I feel like there has been no other time in my life where I feel like comparison will suck the joy out of everything I'm doing and make me not want to do it anymore. I appreciate you for watching so much and for being here on my little teeny tiny micro channel. But when you look on YouTube, there are hundreds and thousands of giant creators with amazing production value, amazing editors, amazing just stuff they're vlogging about or creating content on. It's insane. But comparing myself to any of those people is not gonna make me feel better. Cause no, I'm not gonna have millions of subscribers overnight. And they've been doing this way longer than I have. But my motto is it's not too late, because if I tell myself it's too late, I'm gonna feel like I can't do anything with my life anymore, and that really sucks. So not going there. But as I learned from my favorite person, you might know by now, Mel Robbins, has said that comparison robs you of joy, but jealousy can be used for good, because jealousy can tell you what you want in your life. For example, I'm not jealous of Mel Robbins for having a New York Times bestseller, because I don't really aspire to write a best-selling book in my life. But if you're an aspiring author, you might feel jealous. If anything, I'm more jealous of some of my favorite YouTubers for having awesome content, getting all these cool opportunities and brand deals and meeting really amazing creatives, because that's kind of where I want to go in my life. So jealousy helps you understand what you want to do and what you want for yourself, because you're not going to be jealous of someone that has something you don't really want. So I'm gonna leave comparison in the past because it doesn't make me happy, and I'm gonna lean into my jealousy without being too crazy. I wanna lean into my jealousy to understand myself better and figure out where that jealousy is coming from and what I want for myself and how I can, how I can get there. So something that happened when I was making the YouTube videos was I realized, hey, I can upload 2 long form videos and 2 shorts a week. And up until February, I had told myself I can't. I have no time. I have no ideas. I have no content. I don't have the skills. I had so many reasons why I couldn't upload more videos. And clearly it wasn't true, because I am now uploading more videos than I expected to. And I'm able to do it because I made the time. So when I thought back on my mindset that I had until now, it was, I can't film this video. I can't come up with ideas. And in reality, I feel like maybe it was, I don't want to. It sounds a bit harsh, but when you turn the words I can't X, I can't clean, or I can't learn this language, or like me, I can't edit 4 videos a week. I can't learn how to do XYZ. Now, this isn't for everybody, but if it might work for you like it worked for me, if you switch that to I don't want to, it's not I can't learn this language, it's I don't want to. Because when you want to, you will try and you will go out of your way to learn it. Or saying oh, I can't vacuum today, I'm too busy. If you think about it as I don't want to vacuum today, it doesn't sound as good because it sounds more like a choice. But you probably can. It takes, depending on how big your house is, it could take anywhere from 5 to 15, 20 minutes. So are you sure you can't do it, or you just don't want to because it's not a priority? And that's not a bad thing, but I think accepting that certain things I just didn't want to do, I didn't want to make, 4 videos a week at that point in time. Now I do. I think it's really fun, and I'm on a schedule now, so it's really fulfilling for me to be uploading and seeing people's reactions. I really like that. Again, this is not for everybody, but it was just something that I remember that I did this month. So yeah, just a bonus thought. So those are the 4 main habits, 2 which I'm keeping and 2 that I'm leaving behind, onto better and newer things in March. If you have any habits that you want to keep doing for the rest of the year, or if there's something that you want to leave behind, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. I can't believe February is basically gone. in the blink of an eye, and it's gonna be March. We are into the last month in the first quarter of the year. It's insane, it's so fast, but time is not waiting for us, so let's make sure we make the most of it. I hope you are doing wonderful things and moving towards your goals. If you resonated with anything in this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for weekly videos. See you in the next one. Bye!